Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely fantastic news. House GOP selects, or elects, Elise Stefanik to replace Cheney as conference chairwoman by Emily Brooks and Susan Ferricino. May 14, 2021, Washington Examiner. House Republicans voted Friday, today, to elect New York Representative Elise Stefanik as the conference's chairwoman, 2 days after they ousted Representative Liz Cheney from the third highest GOP leadership position. Stefanik, who was elected to the House in 2014, won the position over Representative Chip Roy of Texas. The vote was 134 to 46. Roy launched a last-minute challenge to Stefanik after some conservatives said Stefanik was not conservative enough to lead the conference. But Stefanik had the backing of the top two Republicans, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and Minority Whip Steve Scalise, as well as the enthusiastic endorsement of former President Donald Trump. Stefanik played a key role in defending Trump during his first House impeachment trial, and she continues to endorse his agenda and policies as critical to ensuring the House can win back the majority in 2022. Republicans voted to remove Cheney earlier this week, in part because Cheney was publicly going after Trump and working to steer the party away from him, which lawmakers said was dividing the party and distracting from the mission of regaining the House majority next year. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is fantastic news. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. This is absolutely fantastic news. And this is, I know that a lot of people are like, oh, why do you keep bringing this up? But it's important because I come with a vantage point that isn't really expressed or communicated in this day and age. Or what I'm trying to say is I come with trying to communicate a unique vantage point. I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. I used to be the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. My articles, you can read them in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, other publications. But on hagoodman.com, you could read them. But my articles went viral in 2016 when I was on the left. I now support President Trump. I voted for President Trump. I would do so again, hopefully in 2024. Why is it important that I bring up I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post? Because Bernie Sanders is a tool of the Democratic Party, and I didn't know that for a long time. Bernie Sanders is essentially a Democrat, even though he claims to be independent. He's just part of the Democratic Party public relations machine. He talks a big game. He says things that get people riled up and emotional and talks about inequality. And so on the left, there are populist messages. And he talked about getting Americans out of never-ending conflict, quagmires. That resonated with me when I was on the left. His message in 2016 was about, in large part, in terms of foreign policy, getting Americans out of the involvements that Clinton got us into and Bush. That was important to me when I was on the left. It's very important to me now, and it's what drives me. To me, foreign policy, removing Americans from never-ending quagmires, bringing Americans home, which is what President Trump was able to accomplish, should be the number one goal of every American. It is the greatest, most important, in the hierarchy of policies and objectives that we need to accomplish as a country. Removing Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts is the most important priority. In my view, the greatest moral dilemma we have as a country is never-ending military conflict without any definition of victory and just an indefinite stay in other countries forever. Bernie Sanders was against Trump's withdrawal of Americans from a region of the world we've been in for 20 years. Bernie Sanders was cheated by his own political party. He did nothing. He not only accepted it, all the tactics they used against him, he then tried to utilize against Trump. They talked about Bernie Sanders honeymooning in Russia. They went after him with the Red Scare type of thing. They tried to undermine him, demean him, and at the end of the day, the DNC emails forced Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign in disgrace because they cheated him. They railroaded this man who, at that point in 2016, it was like lightning in a bottle. Millions of Americans, not even just on the left, said, wow, this is a real human being. And then he morphed into who he was, a tool of the Democratic Party, funneling votes just like AOC from the left back into the Democratic Party that would literally veto his policies. Medicare for all would be vetoed by Biden. And yet everyone on the left, almost everyone, voted for Biden. While they're screaming Medicare for all, they're voting for Biden. It's just a racket and a scam. Trump is different. That's my point 6 minutes in. He is Bernie Sanders, but with a spine, and who fights back. And he's, like, for example, Bernie Sanders had to unendorse a candidate, we'll just say, who runs a very prominent channel with millions of subs. He endorsed this man and then unendorsed him. I have to unendorse you. You understand? I have to unendorse you. Why? Because I was told to. I endorsed you at first, but then I have to unendorse you. Yeah, because I have no spine. What do you want? All the Michigas I gotta deal with? Are you kidding me? I'm unendorsing you. He unendorsed the candidate because he got heat from social media. That's not even getting into the fact that there was a DNC lawsuit that he didn't back, and the fact that he was railroaded, didn't say a word, and, just completely a tool from everything from accepting the fact that he was, completely undermined and railroaded, and they lied throughout the primary, and they did it to him again in last year, but that's another story. To unendorsing a candidate, the man does not fight. The political party swallowed up and spit out and swallowed up again Bernie Sanders, and then spit him out last year and then swallowed him back up again, and he's fine with it. Bernie Sanders is like, a tool to just funnel left-leaning votes back into the Democratic Party, just like AOC. It's a racket. Notice how AOC doesn't go after Pelosi, but she went after Andrew Yang. Why? Really? Oh, okay. But you don't go after Pelosi. Interesting. Okay. And President Trump is another reason that issue is another reason I voted for President Trump. But this long-winded, never-ending segment, if you've lasted this long, God bless you. Trump fights back. He fights back. They tried to set him up and frame him. He didn't work with Russia. You'd have to be an imbecile to believe that. A complete imbecile. Because John Brennan, of all people, was telling you the truth. I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. Yeah, okay. They set him up and framed him with a dossier purchased by Clinton and a third-party tech firm that they're okay with, but they don't like the third-party tech firm in Arizona. And they never indicted any American on Russian collusion. It was always, well, you lied to the FBI, you lied to Congress, but nothing about the actual allegation. They're going after Trump now for his taxes. They're going after Giuliani. They still haven't charged either one of them or the Florida Republican. They're just weaponizing and utilizing and politicizing justice to suit their own purposes, to mask their own numerous list of criminal acts, almost certainly. Elise Stefanik represents a sea change, a paradigm shift She's the complete opposite, almost, of Liz Cheney. Cheney, Romney, Bush, these are dynasties that Trump leveled, completely obliterated politically, annihilated politically. And the Republican Party will be the party of Trump. It's already the party of Trump. In 2016 it was, but they just didn't realize it. Then the Republicans investigated a Republican president. Then they complained, oh my God, we lost. Well, what did you expect? What did you expect? The fact that it took that long to lose Congress is a testament to the enthusiasm that Trump brought. You investigated a president of your own political party. What kind of buffoons do this? Oh yeah, that's right. The Republicans like Jeff Sessions and Mitt Romney and others. But Elise Stefanik proves that Trump has total control of the party. That's a good thing. His populist messages, make sense. Bringing home Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts makes perfect sense. That's what Trump, his crowning achievement, May 1st, 2021, he negotiated a deal to get us out of Afghanistan. Biden is keeping us there indefinitely. He says September, but I don't trust him. And now you have inflation worries? We don't even have a booming economy. How does that happen? Please tell me how that happens. How do you have inflation when the economy is tanked? Because you self-induced, you had a self-induced near depression because of science, when you could have done numerous other things aside from just tanking your entire economy. And the worst outcomes took place in Democratic-run states, according to the New York Times statistics. The worst outcomes. And according to the CDC, you can look. 80% of the lives lost, according to the CDC, were over 65 years old. Do you think maybe there was something you could do with the economy that was in between completely tanking it and, no precaution at all? Gee, maybe there was. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Elise Stefanik replaces Liz Cheney. Great, great thing for the country and for the Republican Party. Give me your